We live in Georgia with my wife for 8 months already, and I really wanna cover as much topics as possible for this country. Because I really enjoy my time here, and today I wanna talk about pros and cons living here. And I explain why I think this destination is one of the best for digital nomads in the world. Let's start with the pros, and at the end I will tell you my downsides living in the country. So first pro is visa policy. Georgia has one of the best visa policies in the world, because you can come here and you can stay for the whole year without any visa, without any restrictions or doing anything basically. You can stay for a whole year, then do visa run and come back. So basically you can live here as much as you want. And this is amazing because visa hassle sometimes could be a headache. Second pro is what they allow you to do on this kind of touristic stay. You can open a bank account, you can open a company here, you can easily buy a SIM card or rent an apartment with official agreement, etc. Because in some countries you can't even buy a SIM card without residential address, for example, or without residency. Here you can do whatever you want. So this is amazing, and it really helps making stay here much more pleasant. By the way, if you're interested in opening a company here, also what taxes they have here, I have a video and I will put it link in the description below. The third upside living here is a good quality of the internet. Most of the rental places here have internet around 20 or 30 megabit per second, or you can buy even higher speed if you need. Also, LTE works really good. If you even go to the mountains, you usually have access to LTE network without any issues. So you can basically work from whatever you want, and it's quite cheap. And because internet is really important for remote workers, digital nomads, I think it's a really important pro as well. Fourth pro is really nice country in terms of nature and different types of cities. So if you stay here for long term, you probably want to explore the country more, and you can find here so many different places. You can find ski resorts, you can find mountains, you can have access to the sea if you want. You can find really small villages with access to more local culture. But you also can live in Tbilisi, which is more vibrant city. So whatever your tastes are, you can find a place for yourself here. And you can travel around the country really easy. They have a train access here, but it's usually between western region and eastern region, so the train goes from Tbilisi to Batumi. But you can also hire a driver here or rent a car, and the car is usually the best way to explore the country. The fifth pro is food and wine. Food here is just amazing. I can't even explain how good it is, you just have to come and try it yourself. I'm a vegetarian, so sometimes it's hard for me to find the right food around the globe where we're traveling, but here most of the food contains dough, egg and cheese, which is good for vegetarian, and cheese here is just something special. It's called Sulguni, and it's a really local cheese which is not comparable to any cheese I tried before. Food here is great, but also wine. I think Georgians think they invented the wine, so of course wine culture is really huge here. Especially the red wine is really good. So if you're into wine, you just have to come and try it. The sixth upside living here is safety. Safety is really important, especially if you travel a lot, you know, so many places could be quite dangerous and you can't really relax in these places sometimes. Here you can walk at night, we never had any issues with this. Georgian people also don't have a culture to steal stuff. You can basically put your laptop or phone anywhere and you will come back, it will be there usually. I was so surprised when I checked the statistics, and Georgia in 2020 was 4th safest country in the world, which is even higher than Norway or Switzerland or Saudi Arabia. It's really blew my mind. To be fair, Georgia in 2021 and 2022 a little bit down in the top, but they still in top 15 most safe countries in the world, so it's really safe here. The seventh pro living here is people, and I'm talking about locals but foreigners as well. You can find so many foreigners here, digital nomads, expats from all over the globe, and they have a lot of meetups, etc. So you always can find friends, especially in Tbilisi. But locals also really nice. Their hospitality through the roof. They're really kind. They're always talking with you on the street, for example, which was a bit bizarre for me at the beginning because in my home country we don't do this. But people are genuinely nice. They just start a conversation about something and it really feels right. They can even invite you to their home, for example, to give you some food or wine. Also, it's fairly easy to stay here with just only in English, especially young people. They speak a good English. Older generation mostly speak Russian in addition to Georgian, of course, but you can get away pretty easy with just English. And the eighth upside living here is location. I think location is really good here because it's kind of in the middle of the continent. You can fairly easy travel to Europe, for example. You can find a lot of cheap flights from Tbilisi. You can also have flights to Asia or Middle East and Africa as well. So it's kind of in the middle of the whole old world. And I think it's really important, especially if you're from Europe and you want to visit your family or you just want to travel to Europe. It's pretty good. So it was my 8th pro living here. Now let's talk about cons a little bit, and it's just 3 of them and you will see they're not as important as this is amazing pros living here. So first downside for me is the culture of driving. Unfortunately, it almost doesn't exist, so people ignore the rules all the time. If you're trying to cross the road, you need to be really careful because sometimes people just ignore the pedestrian lines. Yeah, this is a really downside for me because it not feels as relaxed as I wanted to be on the roads. But it's probably the most crucial downside for me. The second cons is loudness, so sound pollution. For example, here in Batumi we have a bar right downstairs. At night they can turn the music really loud. Also the dogs, stray dogs and stray cats everywhere, so they barking and meowing at night. Also it's really normal in Tbilisi, for example, to do the fireworks at night after midnight. If you're really sensitive in your sleep, for example, it could be an issue, but earplug probably would help. And third con for me is accessible to electronics and different online services. They have a quite big import tax here, so even if you order for United States, for example, the price would be quite high. I usually just go to Ukraine or Russia or maybe Europe to just buy some electronics. Also, some of the Western services doesn't work here. As far as I know, for example, Apple doesn't have really official kind of representation here in Georgia, but it's still not so big an issue. So, for example, if you have your own country accounts, you can use whatever you want here. It's no forbidden or anything. But still, if you're going to visit Georgia, I would advise you to buy all the electronics at your home country because here it's a little bit hard. But most of the local services like taxi, food delivery, they all exist here, they all pretty good, so in that sense living here is quite convenient. That was 3 downside living in Georgia for me. As you can see, they're not as crucial as you think, and all the pros of course overlapping them. And that's why I think Georgia is basically perfect for digital nomads or expats, and I encourage you to visit this amazing country and try it for yourself. And I really think this country will be much more popular among digital nomads in the future than it is now. So visit it as early as possible while it's not so popular. That's it for me. I hope you find this video helpful and give me a thumbs up and smash the subscribe button. It really helps developing the YouTube channel. Also, I have a Patreon account. If you want to support me, you will find my videos there 2 days earlier than on the main channel, and it would really help me to make even better and more videos. Thank you for watching and see you in the next one. Bye bye.